Everyone on YouTube, thanks for watching. We are about to rejoin the Banner Saga where we left off last time. If you haven't watched the first video, go do it. I've just recapped for everybody before this recording started, who's watching here in the stream what happened last time, in case they didn't catch the video. But let's get to it. Hopefully it won't be as choppy this time. Handiest Manny. Manny, I admit that
I
I
never
don't...
expected
sorry.
to see the dredge with my own eyes. What happened in the north? Already we see more between the trees as we approach our home, and Alette grips my hand tight. We must find Ivor.
Alette is his daughter. Rook and Alette, that's right. Manny, I confess I don't... a YouTube name with Manny in it isn't striking me at the moment, but maybe I'll remember it as we go here. You see this guy in the front? That guy? That's a dredge. They're watching us. Also, oh, and over here too. I'm hoping that it's not as choppy this time as it was last time. You guys tell me if it is. Hopefully that animation was a bit easier to see. Alright, so here we are. Rook and Alette, father and daughter, though we don't know that yet. Ivor, says Rook. The enormous Varl in question towers over the men in the training field. He squints as you approach. Ivor says, already back, Huntmaster? Thought you'd be tomorrow. Actually, hang on one second. I just realized I don't actually remember if I did start the recording. Okay, good. Sorry, everyone. Alette says, dredge! Everywhere! Dredge? How did they get through the Greyhorn? Rook says, must have broken through the fort. The fighters nearby have stopped sparring. They gather around you. Damn it, says Ivor. They'll be here soon if they're not already. You hear screams. From the outskirts, people are running toward the Great Hall. Ivor turns to one of the older boys in his group of fighters. Egil, take Alette to the Great Hall. Tell the chieftain what's happening. The rest of you gather up as many people as you can. Egil says, come on, Alette. Alette says, no, wait, I want to help. Oh, okay, Manny, I get it now. Right. Don't believe you commented. Okay, so when I see you now, I'll know who you are. Got it. So Rook can say to Alette, go with Egil, or let them fight. This is the dredge. The only thing we know about the dredge is that they're a dangerous foe. Let's protect the young for now. Alette looks like she might protest, but scowls and runs off to safety. Ivor says, gods, Rook, don't start telling them I know what I'm doing. Rook says, I know it's a stretch, but they bought it. What's the plan? Ivor says, just hold off any dredge we see until everyone's inside, then we figure it out. More shouts draw your attention to some houses atop a nearby hill. And I need some wine. You guys want to take a wild guess what I'm drinking? It's red and it starts with an M. Oh, okay, I actually have to click on the houses up there. Got it. I was wondering why nothing was happening. Those damn dredge just standing off at the edge of the woods. Sure enough, dredge are gathering in number. You hear misplaced laughter nearby. Past a pile of corpses, a man is single-handedly holding back 4 dredge with a battered spear. Behind you, Tryggvi, shouts Ivor, who shoots you a dour look. If Tryggvi is known for being a madman, at least he's the sort who can hold a spear in the right direction. He smiles a mile wide when he realizes you're going to have to fight your way out of this. Turn order. Units move in the order you place them, from left to right. This initiative order is very important when setting up strategies. For example, put archers after melee units so that they can stay safe behind your heavy hitters. Drag the unit icons to rearrange their turn order. So if we would have brought Alette and the other dude, whose name I can't remember, we would have a larger party, but as it is, we only have 3. So, no. That. But that. There. And we have these items that will boost their abilities, like trinkets, basically, in Darkest Dungeon. Alette's bracelet, lovingly made by a hunter's wife to keep her daughter safe from harm. +1 armor, +1 strength, +1 willpower. Looks like Tryggvi's already... Oh no, Tryggvi has this. What is this one? Tryggvi's necklace. A necklace with matching full and half moon symbols made of pearl. Tryggvi believes they align to give him luck, +10%, 2 times strength damage. Yeah, Publican, I really like this game. As I said in the last week's stream, it's so much fun to play, you just gotta be very forgiving of some kind of screwy storytelling sometimes. Alright, let's give that to Rook. And I think we are ready for battle. So those of you who have not yet seen the combat, you'll get a feel for it here. Do we get to... We get to choose our spots. Okay, good. Actually... Hey, look at this. This big motherfucker here. And then these guys. Actually, I think that might be where I want you. And we're ready. Tryggvi, you have an armor break of 1. Armor break of 1, armor break of 2. I don't like that. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Go like that. Ready. The one with the shield wouldn't lay down. That one there, you're saying? Let me handle him, says Ivor. Okay. So, I don't know if I should give a tutorial for those of you who didn't see the first stream, but I'll kind of explain things. You get movement on a square, a tile-based board. It's turn-based, as you can. This is the order of the turns down here. Turns alternate between team members. Between teams, rather. There are 2 stats that each character has that are important. Blue is their armor, and red is their strength. Strength is both your damage and your health. And the way they figure damage is it's the attacker's damage minus the defender's armor. So, Ivor here has a damage of 12. This little bastard has an armor of 8. So 12 minus 8 is 4. So we would do 4 health damage to this guy, or we could try to break his armor and reduce his armor so that next time we could do more damage to his health, if that makes sense, because there'll be less armor there to protect him. So anyway, let's get to it. Battering ram. What does battering ram do? Knock the target back through multiple tiles, doing armor break damage. Knock back up to 4 tiles for 1 break, plus 1 per unit they pass through. Okay, so that's something we could try to do. We won't try to do it just yet, though. Let's do straight up armor break. And we'll throw in an extra point there. So these are extra points. Each character has a set amount. Ivor has 4 that he can use in this fight. This shows how much you can use, how many extra points you can use in 1 turn. Here you can only use 1, so we can only use 1. But there are other characters that can use 2, in which case we could click 2 stars to do an extra point of damage. So you see it goes from 2 to 3. So now his armor is 5. Impale does what? Causes knockback and targets bleed when moving. Knockback 1 tile, target bleeds 1 strength per move on next turn. We won't do that this turn. Because his armor is reduced, we can take out quite a bit of his strength. Let's do that. So all he could do was break 1 point of armor. And because Ivor has a shield, he reflected some of that armor damage back on the... whatever the hell it is, dredge. This is his range of attack because he's an archer. So we need to move first. And it shows you when you get within range by lighting up that enemy's square. Rook here only has 1 point of armor breakage, so it doesn't really make much sense to try to use him to break armor. Instead, mark prey. Does armor break damage? All allies within range attack the marked target. Causes 1 break damage. Nah, we don't want to do that now. I'll have to try to use it later. Let's just do strength damage. And hopefully he can't do much damage to us because our armor will be higher. See? So he can take some armor out, but that's about it. Alright. I'm going to move him here. And then kill this dude. Actually, come here. Do impale on him. Ooh. Knockback. That's okay, though. Why don't you... No, don't do that. Move over 1. Kill him with the extra point. Okay, so now we just got these 2 bastards to worry about. What was your special? Battering ram. Knock them back through multiple tiles doing armor break damage. Okay. Use some crowd control here, I think. So break some armor and push him back. Well, just 1 point of armor, that's not that great. He broke our armor, but it reflected. Okay. We're gonna take you here, and then you're gonna do your special... Oh, shit. You can't. From there. I thought you would be within range. You're only within range of a normal attack, huh? Well, that's not what I wanted to do. Shit. Ouch. Okay. We'll be alright, I think. But damn, that wasn't the best turn there. I'm focusing on strength damage right now because our armor's high enough that we can actually defend pretty well against these dudes. We should just try to break as much armor here as we can. Yes, we've been playing for 2 hours already. Do this. Yeah, we'll use your last extra point, but we actually have a few up here that we can use. I'll show you how in a second. Ooh, damn, 10 points of strength damage. When did I lose all my armor? I didn't even notice that shit. Son of a bitch, that's not good. That sucked. Okay. Because it will get us into mop-up mode, I'm gonna kill this guy. Yeah, that sucks. But we can still get him. Oh god, I hope we can get him. Permanent deaths? No. There are permanent deaths in the game, but this fight's not going to be one of them, I don't think. Basically, when your characters die on the battlefield, they get knocked unconscious, and then if you win the fight, they'll be conscious when you're out of the fight. But there are characters who do die in this game at various points, but I believe they're mostly scripted. So, you'll see we're out of willpower here. We can't do any special attacks, but if you click this, we just gave him a point. So every time you kill an enemy, you get one of these stars, and then you can feed them back into your characters to rebuild their willpower. How many do you have? I forget. You still have 2, so actually I'm going to give Trigvi 2. Oh, Ciara, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Whenever you feel capable, I'm totally fine with that. Okay, now, we've got a lot of armor broken. We can do quite a bit of strength damage to him. So let's do as much as we can. This should keep him, get his strength low enough that he can't really do much to any of us. Yeah, see, he can't hurt us too bad. So let's lose this last point. Actually, no. Let's do that. And we kill him. Here we go. So that got a little close, but we did it. Rook is ready for promotion. Ivor's been injured, which I think means he has a penalty for a while until he's completely healed. And 6 renown. Difficulty. Combat can be unforgiving. Don't hesitate to change the difficulty of battle if it leaves you frustrated or you find yourself needing a tougher challenge. Use the options menu to change difficulty. Don't worry, you can change the difficulty at any time, and it has no effect on the story or choices you make. Honestly, I don't even know what our difficulty level is. You take stock of your handiwork. Can I check it here? Normal. Yeah, that's fine. You take stock of your handiwork. I think I'll stick with you, lads, says Trigvi. Unless you've got other ideas. Ivor grunts something non-committal. Ivor's hurt, so he's cranky. A black horde is forming at the tree line. Enough of this, says Ivor, glancing over his shoulder. We're going back. Then adds, Rook, I'm doing one more check of the houses around here. See if you can find anyone. Got it, says Rook. You're lucky to escape the notice of more dredge on the way back. You can see them rummaging through homes, tearing the buildings apart. If you're going to look for more survivors, you make a note to do it quickly. Is this us looking for survivors? I think it is. You find anyone? Ivor says, a few. Sent them inside. Gods, this is bad. I'm out of practice, Rook. Rook says, look, as long as I've known you, you've always wormed your way out of talking about dredge. This would be the time to start talking. Ivor says, I can tell you they rarely stop for rest. The sooner we leave, the better. Ivor says, they'll follow us until we're tripping over tired women and children. Then they'll attack. Even after we're wiped out, they'll keep coming, trampling corpses in their wake. There's no end to them. Rook says, how did anyone survive the Great Wars? Ivor says, ask the Menders. I wasn't there. Rook says, but I know you've fought your fair share. Ivor says, yeah, I've killed enough slag for one lifetime. That's why you're going to save us now. Ivor says, don't lay that on me. Come on, let's get inside. Ivor sounds kind of like an old crank. Okay, looks like we have a chance to check out the heroes in the market. Injuries. One or more of your units is injured. Injured units can still fight, but have a penalty to max strength equal to the number of days wounded. They heal as time passes when resting in camp. Your items are shown at the bottom of the roster. Yeah, we already know that. 3 days. Ah, crap. Rest in camp to heal. Rook is ready for promotion, though. Which, let's do. It's going to cost us 5 renown, it looks like, out of 19. Yep. So now we have 2 points available to improve Rook in some form or another. We can improve his armor, improve his strength, improve his willpower, improve his whatever this is called, I forget, exertion, or improve his armor breaking. He's an archer. He's going to be toward the back most of the time. I would say we'd want him to have strength. Maybe a little more armor break. No, just max out his strength. And then these guys are not yet ready to upgrade. So we'll have to rest Ivor when we can. Hopefully we won't have any big fights before then. Market? Where you can basically buy trinkets. Or supplies. Yeah? Costs us renown, that's right, okay. 1 renown gets 3 supplies. Okay, let's do that. Do we want any of these? 3 willpower on rest. So that means if we don't move our character in a fight, if he stays stationary for that turn, he would gain 3 willpower. A gleaming gemstone that seems to drive enemies into a frothing rage for no clear reason. +2 drawing aggro, 5% dodge, strength attacks. Eyeless Rift. Civil black sash said to be wrapped around the eyes of a blind archer who never missed a shot. Attacks never deflected. +10%, 2 times strength damage. That's a good one, but that costs 8 renown, and we would only have 5 left. I'm gonna pass. Oh, good to hear, Ciara Panda. I'm glad that it's working better this time. That's good. To the Great Hall. Rook, thank the gods you made it, says our chieftain. The Great Hall is an utter din, filled as it is with dozens of terrified families. Rook says, don't stop worrying yet. The chieftain says, I haven't. What in the depths is going on? Dredge milling around, ransacking houses? The chieftain's wife finds you, pushing through the crowd. Oddleif. They must know we're here. Why haven't they attacked? She looks a bit like Cersei Lannister in the face, I think. Ivor says, don't know. I wouldn't expect it to last. The chieftain says, I've made some decisions, but tell me straight. What would you both do in my place? Ivor says, I'd have left by now. They're already outside the doors. The chieftain says, not so easily done. Rook? I think we can hold out. I think we need to move. The chieftain sighs a deep and heavy breath, slumping. He looks years older. The chieftain says, I imagined us fighting back and saving the town. But nonsense. Ivor's right, of course. We can't just wait to be slaughtered. Rook says, where do we go? If Dredge are coming down from the north. The chieftain says, Frostfeller, to the west. It's close and it has walls. I intend to be free of Skogar in one push. Nobody left behind. Skogar is the town we're in now, I think. Ivor says, I wouldn't. If they follow us, we're done. Oddleif says, what do you suggest? Ivor says, let me create a distraction, then go. I'll catch up on the road to Frostfeller. Oof. It does sound like suicide, but this might be the situation that calls for that. Do we abandon the storehouse? That seems like a pertinent question. Chieftain says if we have to, we'd be leaving behind everything but the supplies you brought, Rook. On the other hand, Frostfeller's at least a week away. I'm not sure we've got that much food. Oddleif says it'll be cutting it close. Ivor says if we're saddled with heavy carts, it'll be almost impossible to outpace the dredge. Rook says, and if we run out of food before we get to Frostfeller, it won't matter how many escape. Ivor says, I still say let me handle the dredge. We can't afford to leave the food behind, yeah. It's going to get us killed, Rook. Chieftain says, die fighting, Dredge, or starve on the road. I'd rather fight. I agree with Rook. Oddleif says, then I'm coming with you. That catches you by surprise. The chieftain rubs his chin, but doesn't argue. From the training she's given Alette, you've no doubt she can handle a bow. The chieftain says, fine, I'll get the townspeople ready. Take some of the fighters and gather as much food as you can. Tell us when you're ready. You step into the courtyard where you can already see dredge in every direction. The storehouse isn't far. You slip inside and start loading carts while Ivor and the half-dozen men who came along do the same. When you've gathered as much as you dare, Ivor takes up position outside the Great Hall. Dredge have already taken notice, watching closely. Come on, he mutters, and people begin filing out of the hall. Almost immediately, things begin to go wrong. Some dredge go after the yaks tied to supplies, while others lunge at a cart with chickens. Terrified men pull axes, and the dredge respond in kind. Not far away, you spot Ivor raising his shield, cursing. You prepare for a fight. So Ivor is going to have a pretty big penalty to strength here, due to his injury. Crapola. Raid Master, huh? Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do that. Okay. Maybe that's what we go with, and we just hope Ivor can hold out. Eee. This is not pretty. You see, we're split up. It's just two of them? So far, anyway. Doesn't the artwork in this game just look fantastic? I love how this game looks. It looks amazing. Okay, Oddleaf, you go there. You go there, you're there, you are there. Alright. What do you got? 11 strength? Okay. So he can't do any damage to Ivor right away. He can break his armor, but he can't do any strength damage. So we'll use Ivor to damage his armor as much as possible, because he's got a shitload of it. It's a lot of armor. Okay. Yeah, I agree with you guys. It looks great. I believe their inspiration for this game was I forget what the name of the artist is, but he was one of the main designers on the Disney film Sleeping Beauty. And when I learned that, I'm like, oh yeah, it does kind of have a very Sleeping Beauty vibe to it in terms of the detail and the style. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Oh, ouch. Okay. You have an armor break of 1? That ain't hot, dude. What's your special attack? Stone Wall. Blocks damage to strength and armor for 1 round. Blocks 3 damage per hit. Okay. Let's actually do that. Move you there. We'll do Stone Wall. Uh-oh. Look out, Trigby! Shit. We're actually going to do as much strength damage to you as we can so that you can't deal as much to us. Ooh, lots of armor breakage there, even on his own dude. Okay, that's not too bad though. do is we'll move you there. You... Oh, what's thread the needle? Hits all units between the archer and the target, doing bonus armor break damage. Ah, crap. Wish I would have looked at that before I moved you. I might have put you here, and then you could have shot him and gotten him. But that's okay. We won't do that this turn. You will just straight up murder his ass. Well done, Alette. Uh-oh, Trigvi! Oh, he's down. You can't do anything, Old Leaf, because you're so far back. So what Old Leaf's special is she can target a tile, and it's hidden to the enemy. If the enemy steps on that tile, an arrow falls from the sky and stops him where he is. So if this huge dredge came down and tried to hit Ivor, for example, and we trapped this tile, if he walked through that tile, he would be stuck there. His turn would end. It's useful, but I don't think he's going to be coming this way because he's probably going to target these two archers. So he could actually do... Well, he could do decent damage to him. But, since we can't do anything else with her right now, might as well. Oh, see, now in order for Ivor to get there, we have to block this tile that she trapped. Anyway, but we want to make an attack this turn, so let's just do that. I don't want to do battering ram here because it'll knock him into rook. So no, let's just attack and break as much armor as we can. Got his attention, didn't it? Okay, you can't do anything, can you? Let's just do another stone wall. Minute. Oh, okay, I see. We gotta move you there. Then you can do this. Whoa! I forgot about that. So basically what you're doing with that special attack, you're marking this target, everybody within range will then attack him on that turn. So you're basically buying yourself extra turns. That's pretty damn useful. Yeah, Panda, you're right. When I first started playing this game, the strategy took me a long time to figure out because there's not just the turn order, there's the different special attacks and movement, and it was a lot of trial and error, that's for damn sure. Okay, that wasn't too much. Oh, Alette, look out! Okay, he just broke armor, that's okay. Oh! Shit. We hit Ivor with our arrow. Okay, if we use willpower there, we can get within range. Let's just break more armor. We want to keep anybody else from getting injured here if we can help it. Trigvi's already injured, Ivor's already injured. Break more armor. Good. Now, you should be able to kill him, I think. Yeah. Nice. Victory! Let's promoted. Trigvi's injured. We gain a lousy 4 renown. In the chaos that follows, you notice out of the corner of your eye some of the town guards struggling desperately with Dredge, and what might be the chieftain amongst them. Uh-oh. To your left, Ivor is laying into a large colossus. Behind him, an elderly man scrambles to his feet. Past that, it's clear that most of the townspeople are scattering. If nobody steps in, they could be picked off one by one. Nearby, a yaks, which is a combination of yak and ox, I think, bleats pitifully as Dredge wrestle with the wagon tied to it. Another full cart has been toppled beside it, abandoned. You could end up losing more food and supplies than you started out with. Well, this was a terrible decision, wasn't it? Help the fighters, try to keep everyone together. Get Ivor to help retake the supply carts. You know, we came here for the supply carts. Is this a sunk cost at this point? Should we just abandon the supply carts and just try to keep everyone together? It's sure looking like that's what the description is. Let's just try to keep everyone together. Got it, you shout, barking orders as you pass people. The guards will have to fend for themselves, or there won't be anyone left to protect. Miraculously, you find yourselves clear of the fighting. Ivor emerges from the trees, bloodied but breathing. You swear you almost see a grin on his face. Oldleaf is not so lucky. She struggles to bear the body of the chieftain in her arms, her face blank. No guards join her. You gather her to the caravan and cover the body with a cloth. The chieftain's death hits you like a punch to the gut. Only at Ivor's insistence does the caravan continue on to Frostfeller. Alet's hand clasps tightly around your own. 20 renown. Okay, nice. Morale has become poor. Yeah, you don't say. That was a disaster. Morale improved. Okay. Pausing to catch your breath, you glance backward to see the caravan stretched out past the point of safety. They're spaced out so far, you're unable to see those bringing up the rear. Does this music sound familiar? Perhaps Oblivion? We've got to pull them together, says Ivor. It'd be dangerous to stop until at least the Godstone. The path should be just ahead. Call an early stop for the day. Slow the pace so everyone can catch up. Keep a steady pace. Rally the caravan with a speech. Given that we've got multiple injured people, I know the dredge are right behind us, but I think we need to stop. You refuse to risk the lives of everyone for small gains. A sharp whistle signals the clansmen in front to stop moving forward and start clearing space for camp. Smiles appear on tired faces, even though you didn't push as far from the dredge as you'd like. Morale improved. Crap. 2 days of supplies left. We need to make this fast. Let's go check in on Trigvi. Austin Winnery is the composer of the soundtrack for the Banner Saga, and I borrowed a lot of the music from this game and put it into my Oblivion Let's Play. On top of other games like Crusader Kings 2 and Mass Effect and God, what else did I use? Caesar 3 and Lords of the Realm 2 and everything, but Austin Winnery, I think, actually, I probably borrowed from the heaviest outside of course, Jeremy Soule and his other Elder Scrolls soundtracks. I put both Banner Saga tracks and Journey tracks in the Oblivion LP. Rook is talking to Trigvi. Trigvi, I guess I better thank you for helping us out back there. Trigvi turns his head, eyes wide as though something was stalking him. Nice beard, Rook, but that's not why I'm here. Oh. Okay, why are you here? Fat clansman. Rook says, what? Trigvi says, they eat, eat, eat. Don't know how to kill a thing, Rook. He rolls the R in Rook gratuitously while holding out his spear for you to inspect. Look at this thing. They grow on trees. You can make this from a tree. My advice? Show them how to stick some pigs, or stick a rabbit, a bird. You can stick almost anything, Rook. Carefully think about how to respond to that. Have you always been this way? Any more helpful advice? I've got to go. I'm not taking his advice seriously. We are short of supplies. He's telling us to arm some of these civilians to make them capable of hunting, at least. Seems perfectly reasonable. Why am I not entertaining that? This sounds sarcastic. This sounds like I'm dismissing him, and this is just me walking away. I guess this is maybe the least hurtful thing? Glad you finally asked. Don't trust a man just because they have faces and use their mouths. A man will look at you right through his helmet and lie. Rook says, should I trust you, Trigvi? Come on, Rook, am I wearing a helmet? This guy's a little nuts. You think carefully about how to respond to that. Have you always been this way, I guess? Yeah, the Skyrim soundtrack is great. Oblivion's is modest. I like it. it doesn't make it. There's only like one or two tracks that I absolutely love hearing. Uh, but Skyrim is like Morrowind's soundtrack in terms of quality, and there's like three times as much of it, so it's really nice. Have I always been Trigvi? Dumb question, Rook. Look, I hear what they say behind my back. Trigvi's handsome, Trigvi's brave, but you're the right man for this job. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You think carefully about how to respond to that. I've got to go. I get it, we all got things to do. Me, I was about to go swimming. At least you're keeping clean. Nobody comes looking for you in a pool of water, you know. Don't let me waste too much time there, okay? We'll come get you before we leave. I'll see you around. Only if you keep your eyes open, Rook. Can't help but hope there was nothing sinister about that last comment. Let's go talk to this dude whose name I forgot. How's the arm, Eggle? You find Eggle just outside the camp, practicing his sword swings. I saw you taking some hard hits out there. Oh yeah, I'm great. Not great, considering everything that's... I'm fine. My arm's fine. It's a strong shield. Oh yes, Trigby's a character. It's Rook, right? I know we haven't talked much before now. But if you want, just call me Gil. Okay, Gil. I wanted to let you know that I meant what I said before about making sure nothing happens to Alette. Think about what to say. Never seen a shield like that before. Iris seems to think you're pretty good. You're protective of Alette. I'm heading back to camp. Iris seems to think you're pretty good. Gil. Did he say that? That's good. I'm trying. Never had to fight anything like Dredge before, but I don't have much else to do. And how many people get to train with a Varl? Just seems like I could be a help to someone. That's what I want to be. You're protective of Alette. Well, I don't want her to get hurt. You can see his cheeks turn bright red. Don't worry, she can take care of herself too. I know, I didn't mean... Easy, Gil. I know what you meant. Never seen a shield like that before. Gil says, yeah, I doubt there's many. My father made this. It's solid metal, really heavy. But I've been practicing with it since I was a kid. I used to spend a lot of time just getting used to lifting it. He raises it up to show you. I'm pretty good with it now. It's the only thing of my father's I have left. Then when my mother died, she gave it to me before she died. You think about what to say. Heading back to camp. Stay strong. He just talked about his mom dying. We're like, all right, see you, bud. Just catching up on the chat here. I will, says Gil. Yeah, Skyrim borrowed heavily from Morrowind, that's for sure. Shellac, welcome. Didn't see you there before. Yeah, he's basically this is a young man trying to impress the father of the girl that he is attracted to. So he's a little nervous, he's a little intimidated, and he wants to make a good impression. So yeah, he's like, yeah, dude, check out my shield. Pretty strong. You're right, Vettel, the bard songs were... I liked the bard songs that were there. They needed like a dozen more of them. Shellac, that's exactly what we were just talking about. The game makers specifically chose animation and art style that would look like the art style of Sleeping Beauty, because they really liked the aesthetic of that movie. And I think it looks really cool in this game. I think it fits too. It fits the kind of... no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Shellac. We were just saying it probably right before you joined us, so don't feel bad. I think it fits the mood and the setting very well. Gil says, oh, and if you need something, let me know. I can do anything you need. Between you and Ivor, we're going to be okay, I can tell. Oh, Gil's gonna die. I can feel it. If you say we're gonna be okay, you're just about to die. Okay, so because we walked, a day passed. So now Ivor's only injured for 2 days. Trigby's only injured for 1. Alette leveled up, so let's take care of that. It's going to cost us 5. renown, but we have 37, so that's okay. She could perhaps use a little more armor. 7's pretty low. Let's do 1 armor, 1 strength. Yeah, 1 armor, 1 strength. I thought for a second maybe about giving her another exertion so that she could use more bonus points when she does attacks, but that's okay. Okay, she's the only one we can promote at the moment. Let's get out of here. Actually, no, let's go back. We can always affect this the next time that we fight, but I'm realizing Oddleif's special skill, the trap that she can lay, is probably more useful to do earlier in the fight. So let's just bump everybody back a little bit so we can get Oddleif. Actually, let's put her before Gil anyway. More mature Disney movie. I don't know. Sleeping Beauty is not immature, I wouldn't say. I mean, it's family friendly for sure, but it's not strictly for kids. It's not like the latter day Disney movies, like everything since I don't know, since probably like The Little Mermaid has been much more like kid focused. But some of those older ones like Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, those are not adult, but they're more adult friendly, I think, than like Moana or Aladdin or something. You know. Well, I don't know. Aladdin had a bunch of little kid jokes, or I'm sorry, a bunch of jokes for adults, didn't it? Lines that scream, "I'm going to die soon. I'm doing fine after being injured. I'm retiring in X days. We'll see blank one day." Coughs into. Yeah, Panda, you're absolutely right. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of an example of each one. 3, I would say Sam Neill in Hunt for Red October, wanting to see Montana. I'm retiring in X days. I know there's a joke in The Simpsons about the McBain movie and his partner who's retiring, but I'm trying to think of a real life example of that. What's a real example of I'm retiring? Yeah, I can't think of one. It's a cliche joke now, but um, I can't think of an original source. I'm doing fine after being injured. See any zombie movie, I guess. Yeah, that's funny. Coughing into a rag. That was what got the joke out of me. I think just that image. All right, we saw the heroes. We could go to training. We don't need to go to training. That's silly. Let's rest for a day though. It's going to cost us some supplies, but it will up our morale a little bit, and everybody will be a little bit more less injured. Less injured. We can change our. I thought you could change your rations. Can you not? We're on normal rations. I thought you could take it down. Let's split up. Yes, you're absolutely right. Though the person that says let's split up isn't necessarily the first person to die. It just means somebody in the group is going to die. But yeah, that's definitely a clue. I just wanted to take you guys back to the map because we only got to see it for an instant the last time we played. So, this was where we started out at... No, where did we start out? Strand, right here. And our group, our Varl group from before, is now moving up this road toward Vetterfell. Where we are now is way over here on the east side of the map. Yeah, Manny, good point. The aristocrats. Aristocats, rather. I haven't seen the Aristocats in years. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe my statement about the Little Mermaid being the dividing line isn't really accurate because Jungle Book, I would say, was probably much more kid focused. Rescuers was much more adult focused, or at least it was really dark for a freaking kids movie. Peter Pan was very kid focused, definitely. That's like kid fantasy movie. Morrowind Online on Twitch. Are they not allowed to? I don't know, Shellac. That's a good question. I'm not familiar with ESO at all. Anyway, we're way over here. This is Skoger. This is the village that just got trashed by the Varl. Not the Varl. The Dredge. And we're on our way now to Frostfeller, which is this town here. So the map is really cool. You can click on any location on the map and get a little bit of lore about it. We won't go through all of it, but the map is enormous. And I can tell you right now that in this game, you only explore maybe, I would say even less than a third of it. Not very much at all. Cardinal directions. Early did mankind begin sailing up and down the coasts, but also out into the vast, searching for new continents. Of the many secrets the early sailors learned was the sunstone, which helped them to deduce the direction they were sailing even with the sun shrouded behind clouds. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of lore that they put into the game. Fortunately, it's I don't know. I got into this last week about the storytelling and the way that there's not a lot of exposition. They just kind of drop you in places and you have to kind of figure shit out based on what people are saying, which is really hard to do sometimes. So you can see they made this beautiful map with all this terrain and lore behind every little thing, even the roads. But just reading this to myself, this doesn't mean anything to me. You know, I don't know anything about these people. Once named Blindradlor, this mining city was tucked into a valley here at the foot of the Wormscale Mountains. Much like the rock here, the name seems to have eroded into something smoother. It serves as an important pass between the human cities of the east and the west. I mean, okay, I guess that's not that confusing, but I don't know. I feel like they did themselves a disservice making this much lore and creating this big of a world and not putting it more up front, I guess. Yes, Publican, exactly right. It kind of reminds me a bit of how the Elder Scrolls games work with the books. Yeah, Vettel, I don't like the world map in Skyrim either. But the in-game books in the Elder Scrolls provide a whole bunch of lore, and you can really get into it. Here, it's kind of similar, where if you want to, you can dig into the map and stuff like that, but the map there's no context. It gives you some information, but there's no connection to what you're doing in the game, it feels like to me, a lot of the time. Anyway, let's not dally anymore. Let's leave. We don't have many supplies as it is. We're out of supplies. Oh, God. So we're losing fighters because of the lack of food. They're not necessarily dying, they're just leaving us because they don't want to serve in a party that can't feed them. They're deserting, that's what I'm trying to say. Ivor says, far enough for today, I think. After a day of misery, men and women dropped their meager possessions beneath the godstone of Hridvaldir. What are we doing, says Rook. We just left our homes because suddenly there were dredge. Ivor says, probably shouldn't be looking to me for advice. Rook says, look at these people. Somebody has to hold them together. Ivor says, that's you, Rook. How the hell do I do that? Ivor says, lie? Tell them everything's going to be alright? Gods, Rook, I don't know. Ivor says, pretend you know what you're doing. That's what the rest of us do. Thanks for the advice, says Rook. Ivor says, then do whatever you want. Let them fend for themselves if you can live with it. You humans are absurd, Rook. Furious when you're not in control, terrified when you are. Pull it together. I'm worried about Alette mostly. You're right. I do think he's probably right. You just gotta fake it till you make it. But I think the more pertinent question is, what if we run into more dredge? I'm just reading Manny's comment here. Physical maps. Yeah. Yeah, a beautiful map in-game can go a long way. And this game has a beautiful map. Skyrim, not so much. Ivor says, you mean win? I'll be honest with you, these men can't take on Dredge by themselves. I expect we'll lose 2 for every slag we take down. Rook says, so we run? Ivor says, only if you want to lose women and children. We're going to have to fight, and there are going to be deaths. Rook says, gods be damned, why is this happening? Ivor says, think of how I feel. I'm stuck nursing a bunch of weaklings. Rook says, you do care. I can tell. Ivor says, Pfeh, men are a plague on the world, worse than any Dredge, as far as I can tell. Rook says, chats like this are why we get along so well, Ivor. So we're here at the God Rock. You sleep poorly, the sun forever stuck to an eternally bright sky. Before the others rise, you find yourself staring over long, low hills covered in pine. Morale declined. Oh god. Oh god. As the others rise, you discover that several have died in the night, maybe from wounds, maybe from exhaustion or lack of medicine. You realize you'll need supplies soon, or this is going to become a daily occurrence. You know, was it publican? Actually, you know, I'm going to agree with you a little bit more than I did before. Mature might be the right way to describe it because of the rather bleak circumstances here. You'll need supplies soon. This is going to become a daily occurrence. You say a short blessing for their families. The Godstone looms overhead, the massive eyes of Hridvaldir looking the same direction as you. Inspect the stone. The weathered stone doesn't see many visitors, not much reason to travel so far east. When hunters come through, they sometimes stop to give offerings, out of habit more than anything else now that the gods are dead. Hridvaldir was the god of hunters and of wild beasts, occasionally seen roaming the land as both man and wolf. He was always depicted in effigy with his terrible spear. You wonder what he'd think about his woods being full of dredge now. A young girl from the caravan approaches you. I made this for you, she says, handing you a crude necklace carved from a branch she must have found nearby. Thank you for saving my mama, she says, before running back to her tent. Back at your tent, you rouse Alette, who clings to your arm until she's completely awake. Bad dreams. Eventually, the camp is broken down and it's time to move on to Frostfeller. It feels like an end, more than a start. You gained a trinket. And we're completely out of food. We're gonna lose so many people here. It's awful. Oh. Morale's gonna go way down. Oh, this isn't rations, this is morale. Sorry, I was clicking on this thinking I could reduce rations, but you can't. This is our morale. Our morale is normal right now, though it's gonna go down quite a bit. The caravan halts when a group of men appear on the trail, weapons at their feet. We've seen the dredge in your wake, says one. We don't wish to meet them alone. If you'll let us join you, we'll show you a watering hole with enough animals to fill those supply wagons. An inherent fear of strangers raises mutters from the caravan. Let's ask what they're doing out here. We were hunting for food when the dredge found our village, says the man. When we returned, he looks away, unable to finish. All right, we need the supplies, man. If you'll be no trouble, come along. Oh, no, I'm saying this. If you'll be no trouble, come along, you say. The men cautiously join your ranks and prove trustworthy. The hidden watering hole nearby is teeming with animals, and soon your supplies are nicely restocked. To answer your question, Panda, yes, you can, and right here is where we get them. 5 days of supplies. So now morale is bad. During a rest, one of the men get too drunk and end up splashing mead in a warrior's face. A brawl erupts. Many thrown fists and a broken bone later, the instigator, Raffensvarter, is tossed on the ground at your feet, angry clansmen looking for satisfaction. His personal defense is little more than drooling mumbles. Let's try to get a public apology from him. Grabbing Raffensvarter's neck, you force him to look at the crowd. Apologize for this mess, you demand. The man babbles until you squeeze harder. Sorry, he yells repeatedly, even after you let him go. Folks shake their head, but leave the man alone. Morale declined. It's weak. We're weak. We can't expect to survive. Caravan is visibly relieved to find a small village on the way to Frostfeller with beds. I was going to say beads. I'm like, why do we care about beads? Beds and fresh supplies. The locals here are shocked by the news you bring and discuss it amongst themselves while you set up nearby. Camp at the village. Let's check the heroes. I don't know. What's new? They're all healed. Nothing really... Oh, we do have a trinket. What does this do? The Bjarkan Rune. A crude medallion made from the branch of a tree found above the godstone Hridvaldir. Carved with a curious rune. Plus 15% dodge strength attacks. Who? Oh, you're still injured. Oh, we have to rest in camp. That's right, that's right, that's right. Just walking isn't enough. We have to actually rest. I think this would be best for... Can we not give it... Oh, we have two of them? We can't give it to Ivor. Why can't we give it to Ivor? He's not allowed to have it for some reason. Okay. Interesting. Well, we'll give it to Rook, who can have... Oh, you can't have two of them. Give it to Alette. Rook, you can go back to having that. Actually, wait, this is Alette's bracelet. Alette, you should have the bracelet. Rook, you can have that. And nobody can carry the... Oh, no, wait a minute. It's not that you... Is it that you have two of them, or is it that it's a level 2, meaning it's like a better... I can't remember. I think it's a level 2, because we didn't find 2 of these things, we only found 1 of them. So there's like level 1, which is modest, level 2, which is better. I think there's level 3, maybe? There is a level 3. Maybe it goes higher than that? I don't remember. Oh, the stream title is still Morrowind. At this point, we're almost done. I'll just leave it. Though anybody tuning in now is like, what the fuck kind of Morrowind game is this? What kind of mods did he install? Right, heroes, map. We've seen the map. Actually, let's look at the map. Where were we just now? The Godstone. Let's see if we can see that. No, Godstone does not appear. Okay, fine. Mark it then. Ooh, yeah, see, level 3, check that out. Oh my god, level 4 even. No, that's okay, Panda, don't worry about it. I should have fixed it when I... What's the thing I'm trying to say? I should have fixed it when I switched games. I didn't think of it. Okay. Let's take a look at these really quick. Protects from death, unless strength is 1. Plus 2 willpower. Plus 3 willpower on rest. Plus 2 strength. Plus 2 willpower per kill. Ooh. Well, we need some supplies, for freaking sure. Let's take a week's worth with us. Maybe we should buy one of these? Yes. Yeah, wouldn't it be crazy if... I don't know. There are some nutso mods out there, though. Like, some of the total conversion mods, I don't know. You couldn't get it to look like this, I don't think. I mean, you'd be playing a completely different game. But I don't even know how people even come up with the idea to make a total conversion mod and set out to do that. That just seems like a gargantuan effort. And to do it for what is basically for free, right? I mean, I know that Steam's doing the whole, oh yeah, charge for mods thing. Or is it Bethesda that's doing that? I forget. Whatever. But even so, modders are heroes in my book. I don't know how they do what they do, and for very little recompense at all. I feel like we should get one of these, at least. Attacks from death. That'd be pretty useful. 2 strength is nice, though 2. What if we just buy this one? 2 strength for 6 renown. Let's go back to the heroes really quick. See who can wear this thing. Fucking nobody. What? Alright, well, okay. Eventually, we will find a character that can wear that, I hope. Let's rest one more day so that Ivor's completely healed. We have 6 days of supplies. Let's leave. The Bruma mod for Skyrim. I have not played it. I have watched Lady Lilia's Let's Play of it. She has a Let's Play of Skyrim where she explores it. It looks flippin' amazing. And I really, really want to check it out myself. And Lilia's Let's Play of it is fantastic. I suggest you guys check it out. Yes, Manny, it did. It did troll me. You're only just outside the village when 2 men in red approach. My name is Hogan, says one, gesturing to the other. My brother is Mogan. Many from the village wish to join you, to Frostfeller. A third man, exuding rage, charges up to the group. Shut your mouth, Hogan, he screams. Damn, a fight? Rook says, what's going on? Who the hell is this dude? Oh, this is the dude that just ran up. What's going on? Town leader says, these bastards don't speak for us. They've been trying to divide the village since you got here. True, says Hogan. You can keep whoever wants to stay and die. Mogan says, the rest of us will go with the reasonable people of Skogar. The town leader says, I'll have you both gutted before I let half the village desert. Behind the angry villager, a mob of armed thugs have appeared, all furrowed brows and nervous stares. The town leader says, you both know what will happen to the rest of us if the fields are abandoned. Nobody leaves. Ooh. I would say I don't want anything to do with this, but this is the truest statement. There won't be anything to tend once the dredge arrive. And we don't know if this village knows it. Dredge my ass. That sounds dirty, if dredge is a verb. Which it is, in our world. I don't know what the scam is this time, Hogan, but you got 2 choices. Get back to work, or I'm finally putting you in the ground. Mogan, what do you say? Thought it was unfair that he only asked me. Mogan draws his axe slowly, followed by Hogan. Despite their confidence, the brothers are significantly outnumbered. I think I make a poor farmer. I don't want to side with either one of these groups. This seems cuckoo. If people wanted to join me, great, but I don't want to kill other people so that people can join me. Settle this yourselves. You step back as one of the thugs lunges forward and is caught in the ribs by Hogan's axe. The air soon rings with the sound of screams and axe heads against shields. 4 men lie dead on the ground before the others run. Hogan says, you hurt, Mogan? Hogan says, no, we should have done that years ago. Hogan says, nah, can't go around killing for no good reason. This was a good reason. Jesus. The brothers head back into the village, and soon many of the villagers have joined your caravan. Hogan introduces you to his young son and wife, all grins, unconcerned about the fact that you never agreed to let them come. You don't bother arguing. Before long, you set out again. Plus 84 clansmen and 11 fighters. 5 renown, 15 supplies, -5 supplies, and morale declined. Hi, Nico. Nicholas? Yeah, you are here at the end. We're only going to do this for another 5 or 10 minutes or so. But welcome. Glad you could make it, even for the very end. Alette marches quietly alongside the caravan, a little distant since leaving the village. When you stop for a rest, Oldleaf approaches you both. Oldleaf says, Alette, I have something for you. Oldleaf has gathered up the long banner from the caravan and smiles warmly as she passes it to Alette. Oh, yeah, no worry, Nicholas. Don't forget, I'm uploading everything to YouTube too, so you can always watch it after the fact. And hopefully someday you'll be able to make it. We're here every Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel, so if you can make it someday, that's fine. Great. I would applaud you. Anyway, Oldleaf is giving the banner from the caravan to Alette. Rook says, what's this about? Oldleaf says, I was hoping you'd sew up the banner with everything that has happened since we left Skoger. Oldleaf says, come find me another time, Rook, and we'll talk. Before you can comment, she departs. Alette says, Dad, are you the chieftain now? Yeah, it's definitely looking that way. Oh. Then that means... You're both quiet for a moment while Alette unfurls the banner. Alette says, Oldleaf has been teaching me how to sew. Rook says, she speaks pretty highly of you. Alette says, can we read the part about Mom? You nod. On the banner has been sewn the story of the families who have lived in Skoger throughout the years, just as is done on every banner in every town. Alette says, I wish she were here, but I'm kind of glad she isn't. The section of your banner about your family is short, but Alette has been sewing in colorful designs. Rook says, why do you say that? Alette says, so she doesn't have to deal with all of this. Dredge, leaving home, and... Why didn't you stop those men from killing each other in the village? I mean, if it's okay to ask. Yeah, it was the best of some bad options. That's probably correct. Either they killed each other, or I stepped in and killed one or the other side. And I didn't want to do that. Alette says, deciding what happens to other people. I'm glad I'm not you. I wouldn't know what to do. Rook says, it's not exactly my calling either. Alette says, yeah, I know. Dad, I think you're doing a good job. She hugs you. You spend the rest of your time together, sewing new verses into the banner. For better or worse, the story of Skoger is your burden now. Well, I don't think we need to rest. Let's go talk to Oldleaf, I guess? How are you doing, Ode? Oldleaf says, I'm alright. Not at first. Sometimes when a loved one dies, people say it doesn't sink in for a while. It sunk in for me right away. People tell me I'm a strong woman. It's funny, my father named me Oldleaf before I was even born. He wanted a boy so badly. Strong woman. What does that even mean? I never care for that expression. It means you're going to be okay. People look up to you. Strong woman is a little backhanded, isn't it? I never thought of it that way. Yeah, I don't know. Let's say I never cared for that expression. That's interesting. I, Pem, have never actually thought about that. Strong woman is kind of, you're implying that women, on average, aren't strong. Yeah. Oldleaf says, if I feel nothing about my husband dying, people think I'm strong. If I cry because my insides feel like they're on fire, I'm weak. Why does that feel so backwards? I'm sorry, Rook. It's been hard. You're not sure what to say. In the many years you've known the chieftain's wife, this is probably the most you've ever talked. I seriously, like, looking at her face now, the first time I played this game, I had not seen Game of Thrones. I don't remember the release date of this game, and I don't remember the release date of the original Game of Thrones. But if they didn't model her face after Lena Headey, I would be very surprised. Lena Headey? Is it Lena Headey? 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 Headey, I think. But yeah, does that looks so much like Cersei? It's crazy. Not the hair, just the face. Like they almost got the same kind of sarcastic look on her face down. Rook says, "You asked me to come find you?" Oldleaf says, "Yes, it's about the banner. I thought about it a long time. He asked me to give it to you, you know, if something happened. You're a family, you should carry it." I don't know. I think Rook's recognizing that he's kind of the de facto chief now. So it makes sense. Why me? Obviously, we know why him. What would you have done? Yeah, what would you have done if he hadn't asked you? That's what I've been thinking about so much. It should be mine. I could carry it, but I thought about why he named you. I get it. They won't follow a woman. Families would leave. Our banner would be divided. I would vouch for you if you wanted. I guess we don't know enough about this fantasy culture, but they certainly seem to treat men as the warrior class and women and children as the oh my god protect them class, at least to this point. There are female fighters we've seen, but they seem relegated to support and artillery style roles, not the front lines. So it would seem like in this game the culture does seem to be patriarchal, and men tend to do the more violent and commanding type things. So perhaps she's correct that they wouldn't follow her by default. So we could say that we would vouch for her. Come on, Rook, this isn't the time to pretend. It's not just about our small town. What happens the first time we need something from another clan? How will that go? And the first time someone thinks they can take advantage of us? I think this is what has to happen. Well, look, you are the chieftain's wife, so all authority derives from you, as far as I'm concerned, so I rely on you. I'll be there when I can, just don't expect any miracles. Listen, I know that I dragged this out. The truth is my husband and I could never have a child. Whoa, okay, what? I don't want our banner to end here. It'll be safe with you and Alette. Oh, okay. I was like, what kind of proposal's coming here? But this is just a, hey, you take care of the banner thing. Got it. I know you're going to take care of her, meaning Alette. She puts her hand on your shoulder as she heads back to the camp. Morale improved. Okay. Yeah, Panda, I don't know. I think maybe the game designers were like, hey, fantasy setting, default fantasy setting is patriarchy and male dominance. So I don't know that they gave it too much real world cultural thought. Would have been more interesting perhaps if they did. It would have been maybe more interesting if there was a possibility for a conflict or a negotiation between Rook and Oldleaf for who should continue to lead the clan. Maybe that's something that's explored in the second or third game. I couldn't tell you. It doesn't happen in the first, I know that. Okay, I don't think we need to do anything else here. Let's leave. We're almost done, everyone. We're probably going to finish up here whenever this next break in the action comes. Oh. At a small split in the trail, a few fighters stop to speak with you, each carrying a single pack. We recognize this place, one man says. Spent several years here with some kin. If they're still around, we have to warn them of what's coming. With luck, we'll find you again in less than a week. I can't tell how many supplies we have up here. It looks like it's 6, though. That's not much. We should tell them that they're needed here. Yeah, we need as much as we can get, and the more we keep everybody together, the safer we are from the dredge, because they're on our trail, for sure. These people, you say, gesturing around you, are your family too. We all depend on each other. Right now, your axes could be the difference in our survival. The men look slightly ashamed as they slip off their packs. While a few of the caravan give them encouraging words, their faces reflect the dampened mood. Uh-oh. It's going to hurt morale. Reduced supplies and morale declined. Complaints of Raffensvarter's excessive drinking have resurfaced. This time, the man stumbled over some tent ropes, pulled the snag canvas through a campfire, nearly setting a supply wagon aflame. Clansmen put out the fire before both the wagon... Oh. The clansman put out the fire on both the wagon and Raffensvarter's leg before leaving him to you. Yeah, this guy's... He's now a dry warrior. Raffensvarter groggily agrees, slurring his way through promises to quit being such a nuisance. Many of the onlookers snort or roll their eyes, but go back to their business. Somehow you doubt it'll be long before Raffensvarter manages to find another drink, whether you'll allow it or not. I want to say when morale is low, your fighters get less willpower when they fight. Dredge! Shouts a man from the back of the caravan. It's Raffensvarter, the unabashed drunk, staggering toward you, looking not entirely sober. He screams again, pointing to the trees in the distance. Fear races through the caravan as fighters pull their weapons. Scouts return with no sightings. Furious men surround Raffensvarter. Better be cautious. Ready yourself against Dredge, just in case. There'll be time for that later, you tell the men. For now, we take no chances. A full day of uneasy rest passes with no sign of Dredge. The caravan is annoyed by the scare and the delay. Eventually, Raffensvarter bursts into laughter, and you're sure there never were any Dredge. Not long after, Raffensvarter goes missing. Nobody searches for him or seems to mind. Damn, I'm an awful leader.
Once a strong, thriving city, the walls of Frostvellir now just keep the howling winds at bay. With luck, they'll hold out against Dredge as well.
You jostle through the fallow crowds of sunken faces, who appear as though they've been freezing in front of Frostvellir for days. The gates are closed. You come to a stop at the bottom of the hill. I agree, Publican. This world looks like it would be very difficult to live in without a drink. Rook says, this is not looking good. Led says, why are there so many people in the fields? Ivor says, we can't stay outside in the open like this. Oldleaf finds you amongst the many refugees. Oldleaf says, Rook, I just talked to some of the women here. Nobody's being let into the city. Rook says, why? Oldleaf says, it's overrun with Varl from Blotzbalker, Greyhorn, people from Bitra, all the nearby villages. The Dredge are everywhere. And the chieftain of Frostvellir has locked himself in his great hall. That's when they closed the gates. Ivor says, when the Dredge come, these hills will turn red. We have to get in there. It could be that they've closed themselves in because of disease or some other thing, but we know the Dredge are out there. We don't know what's going on inside, so I think it's more prudent to get inside the walls. Ivor says, I can get that gate open. Woodleaf says, let's see if there's another way before we start breaking down gates. Ivor says, I wasn't going to break it, just push it really hard. Okay, so there's rest, the market, heroes, and the gate. Let's check the market really quick. We're at 37 renown, we have supplies. We're going to have to leave this town eventually, so let's grab some more. Let's get us up to a week. And, let's see, knockback on strength attacks of 4. Ooh, it's expensive though. We've seen that one before. +1 armor per turn. So they'll mend armor over time. Or Narwhal Horn, +1 break. I like that, and it's cheap too. Armor break is hard to get in this game. So if you can get it, you take it. This is neat too, but it's expensive. I'm gonna leave it. Let's go to heroes then and outfit with this new trinket that we got. See who can take it. Almost anybody. Let's give it to Ivor. Because Ivor has 2 armor break as it is, so 3 is quite good. And nobody can use this, right? Yeah, nobody can use that. Ay, okay. Let's get ourselves in this gate, and then we'll probably end the stream there. Whoa, look what the fuck is happening over here. This side of the town's being torn apart by ice and... ice, I guess. You approach the gate, where hundreds of people have gathered. In the trodden, bloody space in front of the doors, several pin-cushioned bodies lie unclaimed, as though they simply belonged there. Archers up on the wall make it clear that nobody will be getting in. Men and women below intermittently call for mercy and reason, when they're not flinging stones and curses. Let's see, we could ask Ivor if he really expects to push the gates open. Find out more from the crowd, shout at the guards on the wall. Let's find out more from the crowd. You spend an hour talking to different people who all have the same story. A couple days ago, the chieftain shut himself in. Yes, you're right. Panda, it does kind of remind me of Winterhold. Good point. A couple days ago, the chieftain shut himself in, closed the gate, and refused any more refugees. They've got huge stores of supplies in there too, Edgewon man. They're just hoarding them. Gil pulls you aside. I was following the outside of these walls, he says. There's a water passage we could squeeze through, I think. Not the whole caravan, but if a handful of us get in, we might open the gates from the inside. Let's check the water passage. I could shout at the guards, but let's just check the water passage. I'm not fitting through there, says Ivor, when you arrive at the narrow ducts. Go without me. Looks like it'll get you on top of the walls, and then down to the gate where you can open it. Let's do it. I like this better than trying to bust down the gates with a bunch of archers on the walls. When Gil said water, you should have guessed runoff. Still, you managed to squeeze your way through tight stonework and force your way past an iron grate. You take stairs to the top of the walls. As you approach the gates, armed men take notice. They don't ask questions. All right. So we don't have Ivor. That's okay, we can handle this all the same. I think we're ready. Let's just do it. No! Wait. We have Hogan and Mogan. I forgot. I have 2 archers already in the group. I think I might do this. Can one of you use this? Nobody can use this. God damn it. 2 strength. That's great. And nobody can freaking use it. Odley, if you're sitting this out, we're going with Hogan and Mogan. Oh. We're surrounded. That sucks. Okay. There's 5 of them. See, look at that detail out on the periphery. Isn't that cool? Look at how it moves, too. It's layered. It's just gorgeous. Look at this! Look in the foreground! There's dudes just watching. Oh, I love this game. It's so beautiful. Okay, anyway. What we need to do is protect our archers. Rook. Okay, let's do that. Okay, just go there. No, I don't want to do. I want to do armor break. You can only... Well, actually, hang on. You can do 3 points, can't you? Because you got 2 willpower exertion. Do that. Uh-oh. Damn. Okay, Hogan, what do you got? Bloody Flail. Series of strikes. Each randomly attacks strength or armor. Rank 1. 4 attacks at 1 strength or break each. +1 per adjacent ally on last hit. Ah, okay. It's helpful to have allies adjacent to you, but let's just do this. That's pretty damn effective. You're going to do the same thing to him. Nice. Damn, they've got an archer. Didn't even notice that. Oh! Ow. Okay, Gil, I think you're gonna... if you don't attack this guy, though... I was gonna say, go for the archer. Oh, Manny, great. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I'm going a little over time, I recognize. We'll stop it as soon as this fight's over. I want to take out the archer, but this guy will get to the our archers if we don't stop him now. Oh man. You're not going to survive very long, Trigvi. Okay, we can kill this guy. Hang on a second. I have an idea. Good night, Manny. If we walk here, we'll do Mark. And then Gil will kill him. Nice. Uh-oh. Ah! Okay. Alette, I forget. What's your special ability? Hits all units between the archer and the target, doing bonus armor break damage. Okay. I can't really capitalize on that, can I? You can only hit one of them at a time. Yeah, do that. Ooh, armor break. Okay, Trigvi, you're kind of screwed, bud. Boy, I think I'm just going to use her for armor break, and all I can do is 2 points. It's pretty lousy. You're going to die your next turn. In fact, you might die this turn. Okay, do your special again. Actually, hang on. Walk around him. Do your special again. Trigvi! Ah! Ooh, he just barely held on. Alright. This guy can do almost nothing because his strength is 1. He's not going to be able to overcome anybody's armor, so I'm actually going to leave him alive. And I'm going to come over and kill this motherfucker. See, watch. This guy can't do jack. Well, he can break armor. Okay, fine, he can break armor. Again, I'm going to leave him alive. What does Stonewall do? Blocks. Yeah, we're not going to do that because he's going to go kill Trigvi anyway. Break as much armor as you can. Look out! Thus ends Trigve. Rook, I keep forgetting what your special does. Oh, allies within range. Okay. Nice. That was good. Ooh, more armor breakage, huh? Okay, I think we're doing okay. He's just breaking armor like a fool. You can kill him now. She's gonna shoot you. That hurts. Okay. You're gonna come here. You can't do anything this turn. Okay, Gil, I'm gonna have you break as much armor as you can before you go down. Now you're gonna die. Good news, though, is we can kill their archer this turn, and then he'll fall the next time we get a chance. Just some armor breakage, I'm fine with that. I'll let you do the honors. So Trigve and Gil both took injuries there. Gil got promoted, though. And Rook got promoted. Seven renown. Ekil says, "What in the depths are you doing?" Ivor says, "Letting ourselves in. How did Ivor get in here?" Echo says, "I see that. I'm very impressed. But all those people you just let in here? Dead. All those women and children with you? Dead. Thanks for killing the only ones holding this place together, Skal." "What are you talking about?" The man orders his guards to get the doors closed again before more refugees notice. Ekil says, "If I knew there were fighters and Varl outside, I would have brought you in. I'm Ekil, in charge here." Oh shit, so if we would have talked to the guards on the wall, maybe we could have gotten in without a fight? Republican. Come on, old Gills. The wolf's at Gil's door. "You heard about the chieftain?" Rook says, "We heard he's hiding out in the Great Hall." Ekil says, "Oh, really? Think you mean hiding out in a grave? He's eating worms, if that wasn't clear." Ivor says, "What happened in here?" Ekil says, "As soon as they heard Dredge were coming, anyone who couldn't swing an axe got one to the head." That's the short story, anyway. "At least 3 clans in here warring over turf and food, and the worst are the godforsaken Varl." He eyes Ivor and shrugs with exaggeration, as if simply stating the obvious. Rook says, "We're in more danger here than out there?" Ekil says, "Look, I was in charge here before things went to crap. You've got some people who can fight. You've got your own Varl. That counts for something. I can keep your flock safe in the Great Hall. You fight for me, and to take back Frostfeller." Ivor says, "I don't take sides. Too hard to tell when the good guys have become the bad." Ekil says, "Fine, cut these sheep loose and watch your own asses. What do I care? All I want to do right now is get out of the damned streets." Think carefully about what you want. "We'll fend for ourselves inside Frostfeller." Ivor obviously does not want to take sides, and he obviously doesn't want to go back outside the walls because of the dredge, so we'll fend for ourselves inside Frostfeller. I guess what I'm saying is I trust Ivor's opinion on this kind of thing. You can feel Ekil sizing you up on the spot, his hand hovering near his axe. He snorts through his nose, changing his mind. Good luck, then. Hope we don't meet again fighting for the same scraps. Plus, how can you trust that face? Look at that face. With the gates closed, Ekil and his men disappear down dark alleys. Ivor says, I hope we know what we're doing. We're doing what you said we should do. Ah, whatever. Making it up as we go, Ivor. Chapter 3. Little did they sleep. Yes, absolutely right, Panda. Definite murder face. We rejoin our original group. Hakon and Moger and Ubin and all them. And as soon as I get through this dialogue, we're gonna... Actually, we could just quit the game now, couldn't we? We could. Yeah. That's gonna be it, you guys. We're gonna end the stream here. We had a nice time playing Morrowind, and I think a nice time playing the Banner Saga. But it is, it's been about 3.5 hours since we started the stream, and it is time to call it quits. So, as I said in the update video that I uploaded, was it yesterday? I won't be uploading any videos to YouTube of the Let's Play variety. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And then Mass Effect 3 will resume on Tuesday. And I'll upload these, the stream videos tonight, so you guys can watch them over the weekend if you want to. So yeah, thanks everybody for coming out and watching. I appreciate your attention. To Heifa, what's with the animation? This is the Banner Saga. This is how it's drawn. Yeah, so thanks everybody. Thanks for hanging out. I'm glad that you got some time to spend watching the stream. And I hope that you guys can join me for the next one and future streams. Have a good night, and I will see you around.